Hey, I'm Jay, the grief coach. And this one right here is personal. For me, The Birds Don't Sing is the song of the year. I loved it when I first heard it. I thought it was the perfect opener for Clipse reunion album. And this video, my God, it is a work of art. This is not a lecture. God knows I have tons of notes on this video and had to shorten this video maybe 3 times just to try to keep it engaging. So I'll only share a few highlights from each verse and naturally the chorus. I'm excited, so let's get to it. The Birds Don't Sing by Clipse with John Legend and Voices of Fire.
Okay, put it up there.
Yep, he got it. There you go, Nice. Yeah, Nice.
So the video begins with Pusha T, his son Nigel, and Malice. They're all at the Garden Mausoleum where both of the parents are buried side by side. The image shows the second generation upholding the third generation to honor the first generation. They're dressed in warm weather, or they're dressed for warm weather. So they may be celebrating Mother's Day or possibly her birthday, which is July 4th. There's a male recording the occasion, possibly the oldest brother. But all 3 men are encouraging Nigel, and they're celebrating him for placing the flowers in the memorial base.
For whether we live unto the Lord. And whether we die unto the Lord. Whether we live, therefore, or die, we are the Lord.
So Malice reads Romans 14:8. In grief, the scripture gives us 2 gifts. One, reassurance that our loved ones are still unto the Lord, because relationships don't dissolve, they transition. The second gift is that it gives us permission to keep living unto the Lord, to carry purpose forward, even while honoring their memories. There's sheet music for the hymn, Oh How I Love Jesus, that rests on the organ. Together, this scripture and the hymn serve as evidence of their faith and love for God. And here we have Mr. Gene Thornton Sr. and Mrs. Mildred Thornton. We just saw images that explain why the birds don't sing. We saw a childhood photo of Pusha, Malice, and possibly their sister. There's a darkness that surrounds the electric stove in the kitchen. The 1999 poolside etching of the grandchildren's names. And then this camera is taking us on a journey and it's leading us upstairs as if there's something significant that took place there. Then we have the black background with the birds don't sing in white, which is a contrast reflecting the duality of the scripture that Malice read, the life or death, regardless to what we're still of the Lord.
Lost in emotion, mama's youngest. Trying to navigate life without my compass. Some experience death and feel numbness. But not me, I felt it all and couldn't function. Seeing you that day, telling you my plans, but I was leaving you that day. It was in God's hands. Yeah, it was at Elon's waiting to get with me. On my way to Texas, that's when Virginia hit me.
The camera focuses on Pusha T's mouth. the grit of his expression and a solemn tone matches the lyrics. As he speaks to his mother, we're shown photos of her. And as his story develops, he sits on the sofa practicing a Kali Mudra. A darkened image of Malice is sitting at the dining room table. He's present. He's slouched over in the chair, which basically is also an indication of his grief.
And I realized in that instant, our last conversation, you was against it. Told you I was going to Turks for Thanksgiving. I heard what I wanted to hear, but didn't listen. You said you told Jean that Buck needed forgiveness. I see you went to Didi's and stuffed both her fridges. You even told Dad you wished y'all never split it. See, you were checking boxes, I was checking my mentions. Saying.
So we have the boy at the top of the stairs. He appears to overhear what he wants to hear. The close-up of the boy's face takes up the screen. And that's Pusha T's ego. In his ego, he was wanting to hear what he heard what he wanted to hear. And he was basically doing what he wanted to do, even though he could hear that his mom was against it. Malice becomes more visible as Pusha shares their mom's last task. Then the camera shifts to Pusha's eyes, indicating the true depth of his mother's regret about that marital separation. Followed by that statement, we see a photo of the mom smiling with father.
You was tired but not ready to go. Basically was dying without letting me know. I love you, Naj. Hate that he won't remember you. Two things that break my heart is what November's do. And T follows you.
So we have the image of the wind blowing the tree limbs with the sun patches. And that's bringing a moment of peace, renewal, and connection to God. The wind represents God. The tree limbs are basically life's journey. And those sun patches show light and darkness, the necessity of joy and sorrow. This image of the trees, the tree limbs that are blowing in the wind with the sun just kind of glancing through, it is the beauty of things that are not perfect. Mom being tired, but not ready to go.
Now, mind you, Didi calls you, Jean finds you. Was that your vision? Precision. While I'm reminiscing, it all hits different, Malice.
So then we have Pusha T as he concludes his reflection. It all hits different. Pusha's seen through a mirror, possibly in a bedroom. Malice is also visible, becoming even more visible. But he's still sitting at the dining room table, basically respecting his brother as he shares his experience, his take on his mom's death. So now we go into the chorus, and John Legend's vocals, oh my God, he is taking us on a journey and allowing us to feel the pain. And naturally, we can't feel Pusha T and Malice's pain, but this comes as close to it as we can get. But you can hear the grit and the depth of his voice that indicates the deep sorrow and pain that is typically associated with grief.
Birds don't sing, birds don't sing, they screech and play. The birds don't sing, they screech and play. The birds don't sing, they screech and play.
You have to excuse me if you hear me humming, because it's kind of hard for me to listen to this song and not hum. In my car, I'm singing. But anyway, we just saw the choir singing in the church that was empty at the beginning of the video. Naturally, we continue to see images of children, their clenched hands, the shirtless man, T. Pusha looking out the window. He has told his story. He's most likely looking out the window and seeing those trees, the limbs that are just flying, blowing in the wind. And now Malice is at the forefront. he's preparing us for his verse. Pusha and Malice stand near the Players Tunnel at Darling Memorial Stadium, which is in Hampton, Virginia. That is home of state and regional high school competition. So I don't know if either one of them played sports and maybe they spent a lot of time there as a family, or whether this is just something that's kind of queuing us up for what's next. Nigel and another boy, possibly a great grandchild, are playing in the grass. And we're gearing up for Malice.
Your car was in the driveway, I knew you were home. By the third knock, a chill ran through my bones. The way you miss mama, I guess I should've known. Chivalry ain't dead, you ain't let her go alone. Found you in the kitchen, scriptures in the den.
So the camera shows a close-up of Malice, aka Gene Thornton Jr., while he's speaking to his dad. And that photo appears of his parents embracing when he says, "You didn't let her go alone."
Half-written text that you never got to send. Combing through your dresser drawer, where do I begin? Posted noted Bible quotes, were you preparing then? I can hear your voice now, I can feel your presence. Asking, should I rap again? You gave me your blessing. The way you spelled it out, there's an L in every.
So here, they start displaying a little bit more about Gene Thornton Sr. We see his deacon certificate, which shows that he was honored to serve in his capacity. It also shows that the sons, Pusha and Malice, were very proud of their father and in that role as a deacon, as a retired New York firefighter, as a retired postal worker, and as a Vietnam vet. We also see this photo of a young Mr. Thornton on the wall, which is next to the photo of the family home. This darkened kitchen, the focal in this darkness is the stove, and it supports Malice finding his dad in the kitchen. I'm not sure whether he may have found him on the floor near the stove, or whether the stove is just something that's showing us that he was in the kitchen.
Lesson, boy, you owe it to the world. Let your mess become your message. Shared you with my friends, the pops they never had. You lived for our fishing trips. Damn, I had a dad. Mine taught discipline. Mine taught structure. Mine didn't mind when he had to pull a double. Mine worked overtime, smiled through the struggle. Cause mine wouldn't let us feel what he had to suffer. See, mine made sure he had every base covered. So imagine his pain finding base in the cupboard.
So Malice talks about his dad with pride. Mine taught discipline. Mine taught structure. It pairs a father showing his son how to box and fight. And that tone that Malice is using when he's saying mine, basically emphasizes the fact that society doesn't show fathers like his. So regardless of what we are used to seeing in the media, his dad was totally different. The gentleman has the tattoos on his back, laugh now, cry later. And that's a very common tattoo. But the dates on this tattoo are from 2007 to 2012. And that provides another visual of emotional duality, the laugh now, cry later. The coexistence of joy and sorrow. We see a grandfather with his granddaughter. And as Malice continues his story and says, imagine him finding base in the cupboard. Couple things. One, it indicates that if the dad was doing everything that he had to do, if he had all bases covered, there really wasn't any reason for Malice and Pusha to be out in the streets. They were doing what they wanted to do. And so when he found that the drugs in the home, that went totally against the household culture that he had been preparing for his sons. And Pusha T, you can see him shaking his head no. For me, that depicts the shame and regret of that incident because it actually caused Papa Thornton to put them out.
Birds don't sing if the words don't sting. Your last few words in my ears still ring. You told me that you love me, it was all in your tone. I love my two sons was the code to your phone, now you home.
My favorite part of this verse is I love my two sons. Was a code to your phone. Was a code to your phone. I mean, that's heavy. That's a mantra in itself. The black and white image of the suburban intersection and the tackling dummies bring community and football together. Again, not sure if either Pusha or Malice played football, but we definitely have Tyrod Taylor and his dad as they appear putting on Tyrod's Old Hampton High School jersey. And Tyrod and his dad are representing their Virginia pride as well as generational impacts, which is what we've also seen with Papa Thornton and his son. We also saw that in the very beginning with pushing Malice, upholding Nigel to honor the grandmother. As Malice ends his verse by telling his dad, "Now you're home," the camera zooms in on the family home, the photo that's on the wall. But Malice isn't talking about the house in Virginia. Malice is talking about his dad being in heaven with his wife.
Oh, the birds don't sing. No, they don't. The birds don't sing. They screech and bang. Don't the truth flowing? Now feels different when they doing it. The birds don't sing. No, they don't. The birds don't sing. They screech and bang. They don't sing. They just screech and pain. It's a cycle. They do that shit over and over again.
Now here we're seeing the pace is more upbeat. The sound, the tone is definitely lighter, and we're seeing activity that it has more movement. So we can tell that we're going from this state of sorrow to feeling joy. And grief does that. Grief goes from, the pain to joy and back to pain again. And sometimes you can feel them both and not even realize it. But we're seeing this change in the chorus.
The birds don't sing. The birds don't sing. They screech and pain. The birds they screech and pain. The birds don't sing. The birds don't sing. They screech and pain. Don't ever come back again.
So as we go into that chorus, naturally we saw Pusha T and Malice standing in front of the family home. And we saw those different things, images of fathers, sons, and dads with their children. We saw Tyrod, NFL quarterback, with his father, most likely reminiscing in the football stands about the days that led him to Virginia Tech and then to the NFL. And we see the chorus, the choir, now they're singing, and you see the hand movement. It's totally different from what we saw in the very beginning.
Remember those who lost their mothers and fathers, and make sure that every single moment that you have with them, you show them love. You show them love, you'll see.
And as the chorus comes to the end, we saw the two little girls who were dressed alike. They look pretty happy as they're hand clapping. And they're doing this in front of this wooden fence that has "The Birds Don't Sing" on it. Unlike the very beginning when we saw the title with the black background and the white letters, now we have the blue and the yellow, which basically symbolize peace and joy. We have Stevie Wonder, who gives listeners a call to action as we're shown more family photos, the scenes of the young boys playing, and a home video of Malice and Papa Thornton on a fishing trip. The video ends with Pusha T and Malice standing in front of the Thornton home. As a musical and cultural icon, to have Stevie Wonder the eighth wonder of the world. Just to speak on this track, it broadens the whole scope of the song, and it makes it a reminder of the universal human experience. We know that we're supposed to bury our parents, and as a beloved elder and one who also lost his parents, Stevie is providing the benediction that turns Pusha and Malice's grief experience into a lesson to love. He ends it with a guarantee. You'll see. If you love deeply, you'll be held deeply. If you honor those who grieve, you will be honored when it's your turn. This isn't just a song. This is a legacy ritual. And I really wanted to give this video the reaction it deserves. I'm not just as a fan of hip hop, but as someone who believes in honoring legacy, grief, and love. At one point, I wasn't singing. So if this video reaction has touched you in any way, this video has touched you in any way, I'd love to hear about what stood out to you. And so please leave a comment and share what you connected with the most. And if you'd like to walk with me through more reactions like this, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you tap the notification bell, you'll be notified when the next video drops. Until then, remember, we grieve because we love, and because love lasts forever. You, my friend, are forever loved.